welcome back to Pre-Match Focus with your host, me, Tim.
And me, Lee. Seems like a long time since you said that.
How are you, mate? Right?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Enjoying the sun. But I think I'm ready for a bit of winter weather to come again there, you know, when you've just felt like you've had a little bit too much of it.
You must have had better weather than us because we've had nice weather, really nice weather, but then we've had quite a bit of rain again. So,
You get a nice breeze down there as well, don't you, on the seaside? So that's the main thing there. Apart from the Midlands, where you're just stuck in the middle of it, sweltering away.
yeah, literally all enclosed in London, it. So
It is.
Right, well, what we're going to do today, gang, is we're going to go through our predictions for the league places this year of the Premier League, and we're going to give, obviously, no form to go off, our predictions for the weekend's games. Okay? So, right, Lee, I'll let you start off. 20-1.
Well, 20th has got to be. I think it's got to be everyone's pick. Surely you've got them as well as Bournemouth. Finish bottom. They've just not made any signing. Well, they've made 3 signings, but they've all been what you'd probably class as championship style signings anyway. So they've not really improved that team. I mean, to be honest, if you'd have put that squad in the championship for this season, I wouldn't even have them to go up this year. So,
oh, absolutely, I do.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, I have. Yes.
They're decent players, but they're not anything that's going to change the fortunes in the Premier League. You got Marcus Tavernier, Rothwell, and Ryan Fredericks.
And Solanke.
Solanke, they've had a bit of a. They'll be counting on him, but he hasn't had a great record in the Premier League, so it'll be a lot of pressure back on him, really, even though he's had a couple of good scoring seasons in the Championship.
He might score 3 goals all season.
Yeah. I mean, one benefit will be if David Brooks is back to how he was before he had his cancer diagnosis. He's a good player. So
yeah, but come January, if he is, everyone will be after him again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, if they're down by December, then there's big trouble, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Especially if he's performing well.
They could be,
yeah.
They could be, though. They could be down by December.
I think this is looking like one of the weakest teams that I've seen coming into the Premier League, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Yeah, not too convinced on Parker as well, to be honest with you. So I know he's still.
I am convinced on Parker, but I just think this is a bit of a step too far again for him, like it was.
Yeah, he hasn't got the resources, has he? So, and yeah, it's going to be really tough for him. He's had a couple of relegations already on his CV. He's had it tough with the squads given at his disposal as well. But yeah, I think everyone's got them to go there. And I think even Bournemouth fans would be surprised if they do, because even Parker come out and said he's really disappointed with what they've managed to accrue over the summer. So
yeah, I know. And as I say, the fans drive all that as well. They'll be really frustrated, especially coming into the Premiership. You expect something to happen, don't you? So
yeah, I did look the other day. They've only got 3 fit centre halves, and I think the third one has never played for them, like first team games. So it's looking really.
It's looking bleak, there, isn't it?
Yeah, Metham and Lloyd Kelly, they're both okay, but if you want to get injured throughout the season, which is more than likely, you're going to get some injuries without new signings, and it's not looking good.
I agree. So who's your 19th place then?
With an interesting one there. I think people will have them lower down the table, but maybe not to finish as low as this is Everton for me.
You've gone with Everton?
Yeah. I think Tarkowski's got good experience, but he's part of a relegated team, so is McNeil. McNeil didn't contribute any assists or goals last season.
No.
Signed Ruben Vinagre, who did play for Wolves.
I remember, actually, yeah.
He's got a bit of, he can get a few bums off seats and that, but again, not really the end product there.
Didn't play that much for you, did he?
No, in the Prem. No, I mean, like even in the Championship, he was a bit of a bit part player, so he was like a bit of an impact player.
Yeah.
I was imagining he will be here. I'd imagine Mikalenko will be the starting left back, whether they try and push him up to compete with McNeil maybe on the left-hand side. But
I do agree. I just don't think Lampard's good enough. I just don't think he's got it in him to be able to change something like this. So
that's another point again. Question marks about the manager for me. So,
but I haven't got him as low as that. I've gone with Fulham.
Yeah,
and I know they've signed well-ish. You know, it seems to be after everyone, but no, I think yet again the yo-yo club, aren't they? So they will go down. For me,
well, that's who I've got in 18th is Fulham.
Right, so there's your 18th.
So I do agree with you. Maybe I was toying with moving Everton above them, but I do think they've made some decent signings here and there, but it's not going to be enough to keep them safe.
No.
Joe Paulinho was a great signing for Fulham. I think again one that Wolves are looking at because he was Portuguese, obviously.
Yeah.
Leno was a good goalie for that level of club in the Premier League, definitely.
Where did he go? Where's he gone? Jay Leno? Jay Leno.
If you put him in goal, they won't give you going past him.
Jay Leno. Oh, as soon as it came out, I knew you were wrong.
I think I'd rather have him in goal, actually. I'll fill it all up. He's gone to Fulham, signed today,
It's kind of handy, I suppose. Nice and local. You don't really have to move from where you live.
It is. It's literally, you'll have to jump on a coach and he'll be there, won't he?
That's it. I've gone with Southampton 18th.
Have you?
Yeah. I think
them down there somewhere.
I think they're going to go down this time. I think Southampton, Fulham and Bournemouth. I just don't think they've got enough. And Southampton, they've got that Joe Aribo, whatever he's called.
Yeah.
But, and he scored a worldie, let's be honest, in pre-season. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see it, yeah.
But it's just not happening for me. I just think it's a long season. They could be in trouble. They haven't strengthened enough, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I'll elaborate on that in a minute with my views. There's obviously they're not far away from where you've put them as well. But
who have you got in 17th then?
In 17th, got Brentford.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people expect them to have the same season as last season, to finish relatively comfortable in the end. But when you look at a lot of teams that have probably got a bit too comfortable and they've had the first ever.
Leeds.
I say first ever. Yeah. And Sheffield United, obviously it wasn't their first ever Premier League season, but it was the first one back in for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you'll probably see the same with how Bournemouth have gone about it in previous years, where they've been surviving by the skin of their teeth and that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect them to go down. They'll probably finish higher than what I've put them, but I do feel that there'll be a bit of struggle for them this season. I think the main factor is losing Eriksen.
Yeah, he definitely gave him a spark last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know,
they were on the slippery slope until he come in. So
I agree.
But they have made some good signings. I mean, like Lewis Potter has proved he could be another Jared Bowen. Pressure on the price tag with 20 million, but then again, these days it's probably a 5 million deal to what we're used to. They signed a Scottish lad called Avaniki from the Italian league. So
he looks
really
good.
Yeah. Strakos is a good goalkeeper. Played in Serie A for a number of years. And Ben Mee, of course, if he stays fit.
That's a good signing, that.
Yeah. You keep him fit, yeah.
Yeah.
We missed a good chunk.
I knew all them would go. Tarkowski, Ben Mee, Dwight McNeil, Maxwell Cornet is obviously just signing for West Ham. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like, crazy.
Well, one bit will push
Nathan Collins gone to you, Annie.
Yeah, I'll get on to that one.
Great signing. You wanted him last year.
Yeah, I did mention him on the few shows, didn't I?
And you know what? Him and Max Kilman, that could be the future partnership of the world.
They've both got the world at the feet on the form, definitely.
Absolutely. I tell you what, United should be going in for them.
Yeah, there was a few mentions I saw on Twitter about that, like where they've probably just thought, well, he's played for Burnley, we'll just ignore that. Well, on Brentford quickly, I'll add on that they're in talks with Darmsgaard, who had a good Euros.
Yeah, for
Denmark.
Euros, for Denmark, he was good, him.
So if that comes off,
He at
then
Sampdoria.
Yes, yeah. If that comes off, that's pretty much your Ericsson replacement there. And obviously, we're doing this pre-signings to a lot of clubs, including the business. I think, he'll propel them up the league from where I predict them to finish them so far, if that deal does go through. So
yeah, okay. Right, well, yeah, you're Brentford in 17th. I went Leeds. I just think they'll be very close, and it might just be skin of the teeth fodder again with Southampton. So for me, yeah,
a lot of people's picks again. Yeah, definitely.
Spend a lot of money though.
They have, yeah. They've lost some big players, so it's given the.
Obviously, they've not spent a lot of money when you look what they've had money-wise for them, you know. So, who have you got in 16th then, bud?
Southampton, as mentioned, I was going to pop up shortly.
Well, I'll swap over with you. I've got Brentford though.
Yeah, I think we're going to be close again, aren't we? What we're picking.
Yeah.
With Southampton, on my views, he's like you mentioned, the rebound, brilliant on his day. But even Rangers fans have said he can be so inconsistent.
Oh yeah, he might get about one game in 5 where he's really good or something, you know.
Yeah, and even at League One level for Charlton, I haven't seen that with him. There's a few games where you just didn't notice he was there, and that's in League One. So, yeah, they've signed him. They've signed the Bella chap at centre half, who's meant to be quite bright. But it's a completely different ball game over here, isn't it? You know, Lavia from Man City, who's not even played a professional game. I don't think that was 12 million.
God blimey.
Gavin Bazzani, who's got the goalkeeper, who's come from Man City as well. He's looked good from what I've seen, but again playing at League One level. And a lad called Mara from Bordeaux. Obviously, they've had their relegation, and he's only 18, 19, I think. So he could be a good one for the future, but I think they need something for the now.
Well, that's typical Southampton. That's what they go for, isn't it?
Yeah, it could pull out. I mean, any transfers are risk, isn't it? Of
course it is.
Could be a stroke of genius. So. Yeah, that's why I've got them to be 16th, and obviously you've got to be a lot worse. So.
Yeah, I just think it could be their season. So anyway, let's go to 15th then. Let's see if you've concluded the same teams within that bottom 6 as me.
Not quite. Oh, one off. I know you're obviously waiting for me to say Leeds. One off with that. So it's Forest. I got 15th.
All right.
Obviously, a lot of people expect them to have a good season, but I think 15th will be a good season for them.
I agree.
I think the amount of signings they made as well to gel that squad together. I think you might be looking at a slow start, but it might be the odd game where I mean, even on the first game, they could upset Newcastle, but but I think that's a lot of signings to gel in quickly together. They could be looking at trying. I've heard a few murmurs again. They get trying to get to the 30 million mark for Gibbs White today. So
really,
he's their number 1 target. But I think we've seen something from him last season where we want to have him starting regular for us now, the Wolves. So hopefully we hold this, because I want to see. I put on my Facebook years ago, it says Gibbs White will play for England one day, and he went off the rails a little bit. Now he's come back to it if he can. Yeah, and hopefully he proves me right, because I do believe in him. I thought his game against Chelsea a few years ago, in our first season back, he was immense. So you could see that talent in him. So if they do pull off that, then, you know, him and Lingard, if you got the Lingard that was firing at West Ham, then could be
yeah, but I were impressed with that Spence lad, and he's gone now. He's gone Tottenham money.
Yeah, he wasn't actually Bobby's player as well, was he? So they've actually not got no money for him. So his Middlesbrough player, wasn't he? And
that's right.
Middlesbrough got 20 million for someone who hasn't even kicked the ball for him, really. So madness. But at the same time, that could be the same thing that happens with Gibbs White. I mean, like, yeah, he has played for us in the past 100-odd games, but you could be getting 30 million for someone who's just proven it at championship level. So,
what do you think about the Lingard thing? Obviously, he's clearly gone for the money. So rather than, you know, but obviously, the 1 year contract. Who has a 1 year contract?
On
It's
that
like,
much money.
is he actually half expecting them to go down, or is he saying they're going to go down, but I'm going to have the money for this year? Is that how he's kind of thinking? It's a bit.
Yeah.
Do you
But I
know
hope
what I
he
mean?
puts the performances in for them, because I'd like to see Forest stay, because a proper club. We've waited a long time for a proper club to come back.
Mhm.
Like we've had Leeds did a couple of years. These are the teams we want to see in the Premier League.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I
I hope
agree.
if he doesn't turn up, then everyone else will drop the heads, because he's getting so much money, and
Yeah, they're
probably
going to
on about
go,
3
hang
times
on a
more.
minute, he's on that much. I'm playing better than him.
Yeah. I mean, they made some cracking signings. I mean, like I say, I think once they gel together, it'd be great. But
Yeah.
I thought Lewis O'Brien and Toffolo brilliant for Huddersfield. They've pretty much got them in the playoffs, along with a few others, but performed above what we expected.
Yeah.
Near Kato is a good centre half from Germany. They had a lot of experience there. I know he's a striker. He scored 20 goals last season for you in Berlin. So
Get on.
yeah, so if he's doing that at Bundesliga level, then
Ideal. Yeah.
a lot of them come over and usually do quite well, don't they? From that, there's pretty similar level of football, isn't it? So
Well, I went with Everton, though, mate.
yeah.
That was my Everton place.
So it wasn't far. I've just messed up with the Leeds prediction.
And so 14th, you've gone for Leeds.
Yes. I mean, a lot of people are having them to finish in the bottom three. I think if the signings are as good as what they're making them sound to be, then they probably will finish a bit higher. I think a few of them
They'll
coming.
stay up. But...
Yeah.
Well, that's where I've gone with Nottingham Forest, you see. That's where
You've gone, yeah.
14th.
Okay.
And that, as you quite rightly said, is based on a good season if everyone turns up.
Yeah. I think it will gel together eventually with Forest, but I think like
I've got faith in that manager, mate, really.
Definitely, yeah. With Leeds, I think a few of them come from Austrian league for big money. It's hard to say with these type of players.
Yeah, you don't know whether they're going to work, do you?
Yeah.
It's like a Marko Arnautovic type thing, isn't it? All over again.
It's like with Leeds signing Sinisterra from, I think it was Feyenoord or PSV for 25 million. I mean, like, he's come from the Dutch league. I mean, like, Steven Bergwijn was seen as a big deal over there, and he didn't really. He had a couple of good games for Spurs, but I've gained them same type of vibes there.
The world alive, though, did he?
Yeah, he'll probably excite a few fans, and they'll probably have his moments. But is it going to be a consistency basis when I'm looking at these type of signings? There's got to be a reason why people like, Rocker haven't really managed to establish themselves in Germany and that. And Christensen, to be honest with you, I don't know too much about. I think he's a right back / centre half. So it's the defence that worries me, especially when you've lost your anchor man in Alvin Phillips now.
Yeah.
Tyler Adams will come in to do that, but he's going to be pretty much up to his scratch, hasn't he? I know they missed Phillips a fair bit last season, but Rafinha's the big one for me.
Yeah, it's a big miss, that.
Phillips,
I don't necessarily think, because he were injured a fair bit when Marsh came in. And when he did come back in, he didn't look like he suited that system as much,
Yeah.
Whereas getting rid of him and getting some good money like that definitely helps. You may as well, and then find people that do fit his system. So
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so anyway, let's go on to 13th then, mate.
Brighton for me. I think a massive loss in Basuma. And I don't know. I knew absolutely nothing about the three signings they brought in. So to me, it's like having the same squad over, and it might just stagnate a little bit.
Yeah.
There's not much I can really add much on that, really. I know we've got to cut short our show anyway, so we can't elaborate too much.
Yeah. Well, I've gone, just to make things quicker, actually, as well. I have actually gone Brighton here. So, and then in 12th, I've gone Crystal Palace.
Yes, same here.
Have you?
Yeah.
Great minds.
It's like we might as well just collaborated this together and pull through. Yeah, same here. Couple of good signings. Sam Johnson, if he can refine the form might be the number one. I think Gator might keep it for the start there. A couple for the future in Chris Richards and Eberway from Derby. Chris Richards come from, I think it was Bayern Munich, I think, something like that.
You know.
And Doucouré will probably go into the holding midfielder role, I'd imagine. I'm trying to think, but I just stuttered then because I was trying to think whether they sold someone in that position where they've had to get him to cover up for it, but I'm not too sure. I don't know whether Milivojevic has left this season, but again, in last season, did you see that too much of him anyway? Did you? So
no, it's not. No, we didn't. I think he came on a couple of times, scored a couple of penalties.
That's all we're known for, though, isn't it?
Yeah, literally is there, isn't it?
And a few yellow cards.
Yeah, I like the look of Palace. Some of the players have got, the forward players now, they're pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's where they're going to scare teams, isn't it? Elise, Zaha, Edouard, Mateta, if they're on it, for the middle. Benteke's had a good pre-season, but he has been linked with a move to Wolves, so we'll cast an eye on that one. But the Benteke of Aston Villa, then you're laughing.
Ugh, you don't want him. You want to put the ball in the net, not out of the net.
Net the stadium.
Yeah. So anyway, 11th.
Wolverhampton.
You went Crystal Palace in 12th. I went Brighton. Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't. I went Crystal Palace. Yeah, 12th. Sorry.
Yeah, and Brighton 13th. So both had the same, that one. Yeah.
Because I had it slightly, my writing slightly underneath where my number is.
Well, I've got loads of arrows and I've got loads of arrows and twisted and turned everything. So
right, 11th, Aston Villa.
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Ooh.
Do you want to jump on your Aston Villa reason?
I think this is the bar. I think for the minute, I think they've got something good going on there. I think Gerrard's a good manager. I think he'll do all right, but I just still see weaknesses in that team.
There's still inconsistencies there.
Yeah, big time. They could get spanked some weeks, and I just think that's where they are, 11th. I just think these other teams that will finish slightly above them this year.
Yeah.
And one of them you'll be quite surprised by.
I've had Villa to finish quite high this season. We'll get to them in a minute, but I think I think Gerrard will scratch out those inconsistencies a little bit more, not completely, but a little bit more. I think so. Yeah, I've gone with Wolves. Quickly jump on the reasons why. I think starting 11's good. I think we've got some really good players. Then the starting 11, it's the depth for me, especially the 5 substitutions this season. If we're not signing anyone, we're bringing on a load of under 23 players.
Right.
Good for experience, but I just don't see that many making it, I don't think. From the under 23 level, there's a few that would be okay, but yeah, looks like we're changing the system as well. Connor Cody possibly leaving as well.
Yeah, he was getting slated, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he can't play in the back four. I think we said this a lot of times last season. If it was going to change, he wouldn't play in it. If there was an option, you could probably look at him playing anchor, but he might as well just play 5 at the back again. Don't you? He's not going to fit this new system. Probably looking at him going there on loan anyway. I'd rather have the money for a 29-year-old, really. But
yeah, you don't want him.
It'll be a big miss. It'd be a big miss for motivation, whether he's on the pitch or not. He's got a big gob, hasn't he? So,
yeah.
So
those people in line. Well, you just need that, but someone with more ability.
Yeah.
You'd be laughing. You're like, hey, look at that sound.
Yeah, but the main reason is the depth for me. I think that's what will. I think, like I say, we'll have a few good games this season, but we've got to put them out of sight before teams like Liverpool start putting on their second-string team, which is as good as our first team. So,
well, I've put you higher, but it all depends for me whether United get Neves.
Yeah.
Because sooner or later, these idiots at United are going to go, ping, we're wasting our time here. We've wasted 4 months on De Jong, and he don't want to come. He told us after 2 weeks. So, plan B, where you should have gone at the beginning. Go and get Neves. You won't like it. I'll love it. But that's where we are. And he'll come to United and play with Bruno.
Well, there's only 2 places where I could see him going. There's Barcelona or United, but United would have to offer him the same promises they're going to try and get to the Champions League at some point. So that's what he wants, I think, really. So
I think he wants to go United.
But
I can't see him anywhere else.
Like you say, with United fannying about with.
Honestly, mate, it's been so farcical that this club absolutely drives me nuts. I've stopped listening to it. It's like the whole thing drives me mad. It's like United. It's like because it's a commercial club, and every time United's name gets mentioned, they get so much money, or they get so much attention that people are looking for stuff, and then they link into stuff which is costing money. So I think that's the reason. It's like every player that gets put up for sale or says they interested in leaving, United are interested in buying them. Yeah,
well, like you said, they should have sorted out that De Jong took that no for an answer at the first time, and they're the fanny debate. And Wolves, to be honest, I know we've been frustrated by our owners. They probably won't sell him now for this summer, because what have we got to go in with if we sell Neves? Because we're just as bad at recruiting ourselves at the moment. So.
Yeah, but you've also got a bit of time in the window, so
we've had all pre-season and we've made a right mess of it. So I'd really worry if we do sell him now. But I think if Cody goes, I think they'll be keeping Neves as captain and maybe try and get him down to a longer term deal, but probably still see him going next season because his value won't drop then. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm surprised he's still there. Just to add on to it.
Right, let's quickly shift on. Who's 10th?
Yes. Newcastle.
I've gone Leicester.
Leicester I'll probably put there now. Well, I'll elaborate on that because I've had them in 9th as well, so that will kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Going Leicester, are you?
Yeah. Schmeichel gone. Maddison, Fofana potentially going. Probably just as bad as and frustrating pre-season as Wolves and United in that sense.
Yeah, but
they've got good players still.
These players still did finish 8th last year, and to be honest, Schmeichel didn't actually pull up any trees for me last year. I thought he was quite poor compared to previous.
Yeah, maybe on the decline. I think that says it all with him going to France, doesn't it? But
yeah.
But they're not replacing Schmeichel, are they? They're sticking with Danny Ward, who, for me, when he played in the Championship a few years ago, good, but he was dodgy in the cup last season, I remember.
Yeah. But I think the thing is, when you're only playing sporadically, you're going to have that in your locker, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, you've got to have, like anything, it's like match fitness for a goalkeeper is playing and getting your gloves out. Like, you know, you've got to do a bit to kind of get back into the swing of things. It's like Dean Henderson. He's been sat on the bench for a year. He's slating United off.
Can you blame him for that, really, to be honest with you? If they have promised what he said, then
absolutely can. But at the end of the day, mate, he came in a couple of times and he didn't play well. And David De Gea had a worldie last year. So, come on. He didn't deserve to be number 1. Maybe he deserved a couple of extra games, but can you drop De Gea?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll get on to them in a minute. But,
yeah, definitely.
So Leicester, I just think there's some there, but
still got a good team, but they're losing players, so big players.
United, I heard, maybe in for Vardy.
Yes, I did see the rumour. Yeah,
I was like, whoa, I could see that, you know.
If Vardy's looking and seeing players leave, then it could potentially go, couldn't it?
Yeah.
They're just over at Wayne Rooney when they come in for a visit. Well, you know.
And the rise of Patson Daka as well, don't forget.
Yeah. I say they've still got good players there, but
I think he'll play sort of losing their depth.
Who, Daka?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But he could even be first choice to an extent.
I think that's
what I mean. Being about 35.
That's what I mean. So I think if United could go in and get him, get rid of Ronaldo, he could still bang in 20 goals for United this year, Vardy.
If they play to his strengths, definitely.
Well, why wouldn't you? You've got two players, forward players. I'd love, and Bruno loves a through ball. He'd be Bruno's dream birdie.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we sign Neves,
it'd be an interesting one to see.
If we sign Neves, because realistically, how much are you going to pay? 1 year left on his contract for a 35-year-old in Bardi? 8 million, 10 million, 12. Sound.
Yeah.
I'd rip the hand off that. 12 million, take it. Get rid of Ronaldo. He's stinking the place out already. You know, send him to Napoli for free. Give him. You know, just done. And then
Is that who's in for him now? Is he?
Well, it was an offer, I think.
Ah, it was. And no one seems to want him, do they? Not with that attitude. But...
So anyway, we're drifting again. So anyway, 9th, I've gone Wolves. So you've not gone Wolves. So you've obviously either gone Aston Villa, maybe.
I went for West Ham.
West Ham, I knew you were going to say
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll quickly jump on Newcastle. Reason I left Harry, but I'll be very quick with that. Made some decent signs, not as much as I expected it to be so far. I think they're running good momentum.
I think they're doing things right, though, mate.
Yeah.
They're setting up behind the scenes a bit, you know, the whole recruitment process and blah, 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 and all the team and staff, they're sorting all that out behind the scenes first. So I like that. It means they've got a plan. And that's frightening. Yeah. That's scary, that, because in a few years' time, they're going to be right up there, mate.
Yeah,
right up there.
Definitely. But yeah, they're strengthening the team. They've got rid of the older guard, haven't they? Now, the ones that are just getting a bit deadwoodish. So
yeah.
But yeah, made some good signings. Pope and Botman really good signings. Target played well for them. So I think they'll do it steadily. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be about 10th.
Well, that's what I mean. They're two good signings. Pope, brilliant. I love him. I think United missed a trick not getting him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll see steady but sure progress, I think, from Newcastle this season.
Mm-hmm.
West Ham are gone 8th. I would have had them 7th, but it depends on the injury of the new centre-half who's coming with a big potential, is Aguerd, for 30 million they signed him for. Other than that, they haven't really strengthened because Aviola was there last season, the goalie.
Yeah.
Good goalie, but again, it's like having him from last season.
Yeah.
Flynn Downs, for me, doesn't really do anything for me in terms of saying that he's going to rip the league up or anything. So
who?
I think a few. Flynn Downs, he played for Swansea last season. I don't think he was even their standout player. I think they've seen flashes of brilliance from him, but nothing really amazing. And then you've lost Mark Noble, who probably wasn't the greatest player in his last few years, but a big character in the dressing room, haven't you? So. Yeah,
but you watched Skamaka bang 20-odd goals in this season for West Ham.
For some reason, I haven't written his name down. So he's a big lad, isn't he? About 6'6".
He is absolutely brilliant, this kid. He is. He's going to be one where everyone goes, wow, how good's he? He's a big lad, big old boy, quite intimidating, good on the ball, eye for goal. Mate, he's got it. He's got it, this kid. I think that's a really shrewd signing, that by Moyes. Really good signing.
If they play him to Antonio wasn't even 6 foot, but he was good in the air, wasn't he? So if you're doing that with a 6'6" striker, then there'll be definite improvements in front of the goal there.
Mm-hmm.
Just feel like they've signed him. It depends on that Aguerd. I think if you get him back fit, because he's meant to be shit hot as well, I think you'd swap him over with my 7th place pick, which is Villa.
Okay.
I think they've had a great. Well, they did all the business early, really. I don't think they've really added anything on, but they've got some good areas covered now. With Carlos was a good signing at the back, Diego Carlos.
Yeah.
Coutinho, if you get the best out of him. Kamara, who's like an old midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Balls were after him last summer, or in the last December window, wherever it was, January.
Boubacar Kamara, I tell you, United were after him briefly as well.
Yeah.
Great signing that. Everyone really missed a trick. They've well swooped in there and got a good one.
Yeah. So I think they've really improved. I think if he can iron out them inconsistencies, then you'll expect a good season from Villa. A lot of them will probably just be happy to actually see them finish top half this season, but I know some of them want to see more for the amount of money they spend.
So you've gone there with 7th for Villa.
7th, yeah.
I've got Newcastle there.
Have you?
Yeah.
Been an interesting one to see. I think
slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. If they carry on the momentum from last season, they can definitely see it.
I think if when Trippier and everyone's proper fit again, and that team's all there, you'll be like, God blimey, that's the team, that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we're getting to the boring part now. The top 6. Man United.
What? Man United?
In terms of getting the recruitment, like in terms of what they've actually signed, they're getting there and they've got the right manager. But I think it's going to take a couple of years, and they've got to stick with him as well. They're not getting his back too much because he's obviously transformed.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
We've actually got a proper coach now. And he's going to do wonders with this lot, especially the young lads. So he just needs to assemble this team now and get rid of all this Ronaldo nonsense. It's no good for us. He's got rid of all the other people which were a problem in the dressing room, and he's got one now again. And it's like, we don't need that to drag on. I'd rather just get rid of him and deal with the squad as it is, you know, and just go with it and bring Charlie McNeil through, you know. He's clearly has an eye for goal. So, or go against everyone's wishes and bring Mason Greenwood back and say he hasn't been charged.
It looks like he will be coming back from what I read on it. So
hasn't been charged. No comment on it. Kid can play football. Still paying it. So
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I can see him coming back. I know it's a bit of an iffy subject, and he didn't sound good for him at the start, but yeah.
But freaking hell, right? Honestly, mate, I have like young kids saying stuff as bad as that. If they're acting it out, and if it's being acted out, then you know, I know obviously this is what he does to me and blah blah blah, but I don't know. It's a tough one. I ain't going there.
Yeah, we're not getting into that.
Because if it was my door, I'd knock his head off. Let's put it there. Let's just say that. So
have
anyway,
you gone with United?
I've gone Arsenal there, mate.
Have you?
I've swapped them. I reckon I've swapped them over from what you have, unless you've gone Arsenal to finish a bit higher. But
yeah, I've gone for Arsenal to finish 4th, and Chelsea 5th.
5th. Well, I'd nearly. Well, I've gone Arsenal. I'm just going to say mine quick, and then you can tell me yours. So I've gone Arsenal 6th, United by some miracle to finish 5th, Chelsea to finish 4th, Tottenham to finish 3rd, Liverpool 2nd, and Man City to still win it again. I think it'll be close, but I think there'll be more of a gap this year. Yeah,
I think there will. It's got to be. I think everyone's improving to an extent. I think my reasoning with Chelsea is I think Koulibaly gets his name from being a FIFA legend. I don't think he's as good as what people think he is. I don't think he's as good as people. I've seen him a few times in the Champions League, and I've seen average players absolutely rinse him.
I have as well, honestly, mate. I've seen him play a couple of times. Like, oh, this Koulibaly's playing Napoli are on, and you're watching him like, the same player. It must be his cousin or something.
If he was that good, they'd have won that Serie A a few times when they had the chance. Sterling, if you get the same City still, but he's got to adapt to a new manager's way and the new team around him. So
yeah,
he's not going to be as
he's not going to get all them tappings like Chelsea, like he had.
Yeah, he will get some.
He'll get some. Yeah,
he won't be as effective as City though.
He'll probably put him in more than Werner did.
So. Yeah, but yeah. I think Conor Cowley put more in than Werner did last season. So, yeah, 4th I've gone with Arsenal.
Jesus looks good though, doesn't he?
That's the main reason for me. They've signed a proper striker.
Yeah.
Zinchenko's a
good signing.
Yeah, workhorse, good player.
They've signed really well. They've signed really, really well. And he does scare me a bit, but Arsenal are Arsenal, and they can drop off a cliff. And I reckon they will. I just think they're going to go through, like they did last year, they're going to go through stinky periods, and then they're going to go through lightning periods where people go, "Oh, Arteta's really got it going here," but it's still Arsenal for me, and the inconsistency always comes through eventually. And bearing in mind, you've got a World Cup round the corner in winter, where he's going to carry on straight after, and everyone falls off the bus anyway. Look at all the English players in particular, and if they go to the latter stages of that competition, which you'd probably expect them to be in the semi-finals at least, then look at Kane. It took him 4 months to come back. Oh, he's still on holiday. We're on a beach for 4 months, just taking a wage like they're in spirit. I'm sure he had a body double or like a clone. He'd sent a clone in to replace him for a bit. Yeah, I'm having an extended holiday, mate. You just go in there. But anyway, so you've gone Arsenal 4th.
Yeah.
Who've you gone 3rd?
Spurs 3rd.
Tottenham. Get on.
Yeah, but we'll get really quick because obviously we got to get, haven't we? Recruited really well.
Liverpool 2nd.
No, City 2nd.
I think you've got Liverpool to win it this year.
Yeah, because I think it's not because of the squads or anything. I think, when you're trying to foresee into the future, you're thinking, City really going to win it again? And then you've gone like as a winner for the 4th time in the last 5 years. Is it something like that? Or is it more than that? 5 in the last 6? I just can't see it this time. I think Liverpool haven't yet lost Mane, but they've still got capable attackers up there, and I think it's not just the attacking side of it. I think they're just a different beast in terms of having the mentality to win. And I think sort of stronger than City, even though they haven't won the title. I think they've got a sort of, how many games have they lost in the last few years? Liverpool, probably about 6 in the last 3 or 4 seasons.
I think that Charity Shield was the wake-up call Pep and his team needed to go, no, we're staying.
Yeah.
That won't happen again. And I expect no more draws this season between them two. I think there's going to be a winner either side now. It'll just be
that's what we want, isn't it? We want to.
Yeah, the home team, I reckon it'll be this year.
Yeah.
We'll win. But
Haaland, obviously, everyone's raving about him. We'll see. I mean, he's got everything you need in the Premier League striker. But I think the thing we're looking at is, if he plays all season,
I think if you look on that list there, Bournemouth, he'll score 5-6 goals against them.
Yeah, in one game.
One game each time. So if you're saying that twice, that's 10 goals potentially in 2 visits. So then what, you're looking for 30, right? Okay. Everton 2, Fulham, hat-trick maybe. 4, Brentford 2, Southampton definitely. Bully
He's got
them
the potential
all
to score against all of them, hasn't he? I think.
Nottingham Forest definitely. Leeds, he'd love to score against Leeds.
Yeah. I think he'd love to score against you as well, wouldn't he? So.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
He's gonna score goals, man. In this league, honestly, he's gonna be absolutely frightening.
The one thing to look out for, he does get injured a lot.
He does, but
so that could hinder it, especially if they haven't got Jesus when he is out. So I think that could be a major turn. I know they've got midfielders that can score all over the pitch, but there's only so much.
They just go back to false 9, don't they?
Yeah. I think that's the reason why I've probably changed it more than anything. Obviously, Liverpool's mentality. And if Alan misses about 10 games, which he has done enough every season, then that could be what turns it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've had Liverpool to win it.
Lovely.
And that's that on our league predictions, isn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, very quickly, we're going to fly through the fixtures, starting with Friday night, Crystal Palace and Arsenal, which is 8 o'clock on Friday, the 5th of August.
Yeah, no tips this week, unfortunately. I'm just going to go for the scores because I haven't had a chance to look. 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Saturday, 6th of August, 12:30 kick-off, Fulham and Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool.
I've spent if anyone's seen me kicking this laptop about, I've been attacked by a moth all bloody shirt. It's just tickling the life out of me.
Right, the start of the 3 o'clocks on Saturday is New Boys Bournemouth against Villa.
1-0 Villa win.
3-0 Villa win. Leeds at home to Wolves.
1 apiece.
1 apiece. Newcastle at home to Forest.
2-1 Newcastle.
3-1 Newcastle. Tottenham at home to Southampton.
2-0 Spurs.
2-0 Spurs.
It's like bingo, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? 2 little ducks, 22.
Well, we have to see about 22 goals, but at least.
1 fat pervert, number 8. Right, 5:30 on Saturday sees Everton at home to Chelsea.
1-0 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. Same difference.
I've slagged off Koulibaly.
Sunday, 7th of August starts with a 2 o'clock kickoff. Leicester at home to Brentford.
2-1 to Leicester.
I've gone 1-1. The other 2 o'clock is Man United at home to Brighton.
I'll pay you off here. I can see Brighton nicking the points because they just seem to have Man United's number. 2-2.
2-2 for me too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't pay you off.
Expect that, did you? I know what Brighton are about in Potter, mate. It'll be good. The 4:30 sees West Ham at home to City.
That's 1 apiece on my view.
Ooh. I've gone 3-1 City. So there we go. There we have it. All the information will be on the screen. And no tips this week, but we'll have it some next week on form. Lee goes on holiday. Goes on his little holiday, so we're going to be on some kind of link.
Yeah. If we can't, the worst it would be a call, whether it gets recorded onto there or then.
Yeah. Or I'll just talk to you myself and put a picture of Lee up next to me. Or something.
I should have had one last time I come out. I should have had a cardboard just
God blimey, I'll tell you what, I have had dry mouth all the way through this. Literally constant.
It's been a nightmare, hasn't it? I've got tickly feet and you've got a dry mouth all the way. It's absolutely driving me insane.
Right, well, gang, thanks for tuning in. And we're going to a new system soon. We're going to an OBS system, which means we will be live instead of pre-recording stuff. So you can get involved and contact us directly, or as we say in the West Country, directly. Directly. See you directly.
Yeah, there won't be too much. We don't have to edit too much of our shows, and we're too good, aren't we? So.
I know he'll save all that anyway. At least he'll all be up front and he'll be on while we're talking. It'll be all nice and bonny, and we'll feel like we're not 50-year-old. We're old, Lee. We're getting old, Lee.
We're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there.
Tech, innit? Just want to talk football. Crying out loud. So, right, anyway, good to see everyone. And good to see you, Leroy. And we will be back again. See you soon.
See you later. Have a good week.
And you, mate. See you soon.
See ya.